Super Bowl 55 kicks off this Sunday. The 2021 Golden Globe nominees announced, and a Florida man with the state tattooed on his forehead was arrested. Imagine that. This and so much more on today's The Morning Laugh.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. It is February something. I'm not keeping track anymore. It's February 4th. And this is The Morning Laugh. I am Brian Kohatsu, and I'm joined with my wonderful co-hosts as usual, Mike James and Josh Novey. And, man, what was that other guy's name? Chris Wineland, who is on assignment in Mexico. Does anybody know why? Good morning, gentlemen, first of all. Good to see you bright and early. Where do we know where Chris is exactly and why he's in Mexico? Or are we sworn not to ever say?
He's in Guantanamo, and his buddy Andy left him some money in a wall, and so that
yeah. Okay,
that explains why he brought the mallet with him. Well, so he's going down there to recover some lost money and a chalupa.
So if you're just joining us at the moment, which is early, and we've got a couple people have jumped on, so bright and early. Thank you for watching. At this point, Chris is down in Mexico. He will not be joining us today, unless I don't know. He could surprise us. He might find an internet connection and just jump on and say hi to us.
I mean, honestly, if he does, though, I'll be really kind of mad at him. Like, who's going to go to Mexico to do work? That's ridiculous.
It is.
Well, you got to give him credit.
You go to Mexico for vacation or to run away from the authorities. Those two things.
There are no other options at this point. Well, or you live in Arizona, you can run for the border literally whenever you want to. I think he went there for some good Mexican food. I think that's what happened.
Those are the reasons. Let's summarize. We have what reasons? Running from the authorities, retrieving money, good Mexican food,
and good Mexican food,
or to avenge your daughter's death. I think those are the things.
Yeah,
true.
But wait, Chris,
this got very dark early in the morning. Let's brighten it up a little bit.
I'm pulling for Mexican food, guys. So all right. Today is Thursday, and this weekend coming up. Everyone's always excited for the weekend, but this weekend, of course, is Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know if we're actually legally allowed to say Super Bowl, so I had to contact some people in the legal department, and we have, of course, it's Super Bowl. I believe they were a European company. The Super Bowl 55 is coming up this week. Very excited about the Super Bowl. Kind of. So we've got Kansas City versus Tampa Bay. This is not a sports show, so don't worry, folks. Anybody got a take on who's going to win? We've got the old man, and we got the young kid. We got Brady versus Mahomes. Any thoughts?
I'm gonna. This is my prediction. I think the Chiefs are gonna win because I think that they're gonna be outcoached. I think the Bucs are gonna be outcoached. Like Bruce Arians, obviously he was part of the Arizona Cardinals for a while, a couple of years there. But I just think that Andy Reid is a better coach, and when you look at the offensive line and the weapons that they have, they're pretty fairly matched up. And I think that I say Chiefs by 7 points.
Chiefs by 7 points. Mike, do you have any intake? Any thought on this input?
I was going through all my notes from the season, and I think the blue team is going to do well.
Yeah. So one of these blue teams shown here.
Yeah.
The darker blue one, actually.
The darker blue one. Okay. I think really what it kind of boils down to is
what color is the dress, by the way?
I think the team best dressed will win. They normally do. I think I don't know. It always everybody kind of hates Brady, but I don't know. I always pull. The older I get, I always pull for the old guy one last time.
I mean, he's 73.
He's 73. He's 73, going for his 40th NFL title.
Yeah.
So,
did you see the diet that he has?
No.
The foods that he eats no sugar, no tomatoes, and like he has like a very specific diet where it's
like no tomatoes because you can't tell if it's a vegetable or a fruit.
He doesn't eat fruit, so he doesn't eat tomatoes because he doesn't know.
On a side note, he never uses the letter Y either. He's not sure if it's a vowel or not, so
he pronounces it "ya." So his name is Braid Ya.
Tom Brady. Yeah. So also everyone's concerned about getting together for Super Bowl parties, which everyone's saying don't do. We know what people do. You guys have any plans or anybody watching the game? I will watch. I'll definitely watch. I'll probably be my wife and I only, but the kids don't care.
Josh?
Yeah, I will be watching. In fact, actually, I'll be watching at my new house because we're moving this Saturday. So Sunday, we have to have, at least the TV set up. So I'll be watching it with my fiance's kids. I call them my rent-a-owns, and there.
So did you get help for your move, Josh?
Not really. So
for the record, I offered.
He did offer, but I have a rule that I don't ask anyone over 30 to help me move.
That's ageist.
It's not. I just know how it feels.
My rule is I don't ask anyone without a truck to help me move.
Yeah, which is a good rule.
Mm-hmm.
I helped Mike move once. Thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Mike has some heavy furniture, is what I'm saying.
I do. We've gotten rid of most of the real heavy stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So here's a question, Mike. I am of the school of thought that the older you get, the more you should hire people to do the work for you.
Mm-hmm.
You
didn't feel that way. You thought that you should have Brian come and help you do all the work.
No. Mike hired me.
This was a few years ago.
Oh, that's how we met.
I hired Brian.
I was standing outside of Home Depot, and Mike said, "Hey," and
he was just standing looking for his car. Hey, you.
And I had nothing else going on, so sure, why not? So, but $5 and a piece of pizza, Mike. All right, whatever. Just saying. So if that's so anyway, Super Bowl, that's good. You're moving. Hopefully you'll be settled in time to watch the big game. That's nice. So the how's this segue? Anyway, the no, we hope this goes well. Yesterday, the Golden Globe nominations came out, which I know. Contain yourself, Mike. Trophies for everyone. Isn't
that for movies?
This is just one of the warehouses. This picture here.
There, yeah, that's a lot of Golden Globes.
Yeah, the Golden Globes.
That's for. I didn't know movies were still happening. Is that still a thing?
Movies and television. But now that they're showing all the movies on television, boy, the Emmys are going to get thick too, aren't they?
They are.
What's the difference at this point? Doesn't it seem like everything's mushed together? I mean,
yeah.
Granted, the Academy Awards too is going to have a lot of films. The Academy Award, I think the thing is, the film has to have appeared in a theater for, I think it's a week or weekend or something. There's a time period.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the new category for Golden Globes, which is internet clips I watched on YouTube at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the best of, and then so that's I'm very excited about that.
I'm really pulling for Scared Squirrel.
Right. See, now you would, because I'm pushing for a cat next to cucumber. That's always my favorite. So
I'm going for the cat that says hi. She goes, well, hi.
which is a
That's
favorite.
A good impression,
everybody. So Golden Globes this year, it's going to be virtual, of course. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler will be doing it from coast to coast virtually. So no snafu could happen there. Let's see. There's some special awards being given out this year, of course. Who is it? It's Jane Fonda. We're receiving the Cecil B. DeMille Award, which finally.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
And then Norman Lear, who's still alive, is getting the Carol Burnett Award for excellence in television.
Who also is still alive.
So he played with Tom Brady. And then he said, but here's an example. Best motion picture for a drama. Please tell me if you've seen any of these. The Father. Mank.
Is it Father of the Bride or is it just the
Mank.
father?
No, it's just the father. It's not the Steve Martin short one. Mank. No, anybody?
Mank.
No Man Land. No Man Land. Am I saying these even right? Promising Young Girl.
That's
the Trial of the Chicago 7.
I've not heard of or seen any of these.
Never.
Yeah, and I think the problem is a lot of people haven't gotten around to seeing absolutely everything that's on television during the pandemic. So, but hang in there, kids. We got a little more time. So, till you get vaccinated.
I think it's interesting that they have like one of those awards, like the Cecil B. DeMille one. That's what he was a legend. He's gone now, but Carol Burnett's still alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Has she won the award yet?
Like, how does she feel about like the memorial award, like the Carol Burnett memorial? Wait a second.
Because if Carol Burnett wins it, that seems a little narcissistic. But if she doesn't ever win it, then it's kind of like, well, she never got it. Why is she so important?
If she wins it, I think the internet and the universe implodes.
It's like in football they have the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, and it's for the most philanthropic football player in the NFL that year. And of course, the first person to win it was Walter Payton.
Right.
So do you think there's a fix? Is that what you're saying?
I'm establishing the Mike James YouTube early morning broadcast award.
Oh, sweet. Oh, am I nominated?
I can't reveal that yet.
Hey guys, I just got it in the mail. I want to thank Mike James. I want to thank Josh Novey for making this happen. I'm just so sad Mike wasn't here to see this. Thank you so much.
Unfortunately for Chris, he'll never be able to see me in concert now.
Chris will be back next week. Everyone, just so you know, with stories of Mexico. That's if he gets back. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. A lot of good performances, though, I think. Yeah. Now, so best motion picture, musical or comedy, Borat is nominated against Hamilton.
Wow, really?
Yeah. The two best comedies of the year.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, you guys do know that what was the Matt Damon Stuck on Mars movie?
Mars.
The Martian?
Oh, the
Martian. Duh. Yeah, my favorite Martian. That's right. Martian.
Now that, by the way, that got nominated for best movie about potatoes.
Yeah.
From the United Farm Workers. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And then I like when he accepted the award. He's like, "I'd like to thank the Academy." Never mind. So,
wow, that's spot on. The spot on Matt Damon. This morning.
Hey, look at me, I'm Matt Damon.
I was gonna say, do you know that the Martian won best comedy? It was in the comedy.
Wait.
For some reason, it met the criteria for Golden Globes for a comedy. So The Martian won best comedy.
Yeah, I think it was the fart gag. There's a big fart gag that was going on throughout the whole movie.
Right when he was running around, it was all. Yeah, this is where the show's gone.
And just so you know, once again, Chris is in Mexico, so we're out of control. In fact, Norm Dunham says, "No, Chris, allergic reaction to a spray tan or what?"
Yeah. So if you saw,
this is my favorite thing. So I replied, and it comes up as and so on YouTube it has Chris replying as himself. So you can pretty much.
So it wasn't Chris.
You're not supposed to share your password with other people.
Well, Golden Globes. Maybe you watch. Will you guys watch? You guys watch award shows anymore at all?
I always like award shows. I think they're fun to watch, mostly because of the hosting and stuff. Actually, watching the actual people obtain their award and that is kind of boring, but I like them. I don't think I'll watch this one just because I will have no idea when it's on or how to see it.
It's tough when you haven't seen all the stuff,
Yeah.
And the categories have gotten so immense now that pretty much everybody gets something. Although it's interesting though. Netflix has like 20 nominations. The closest one next to it, I think, is HBO with 7. So it's just Netflix runs everything at this point.
Right.
Actually, not this show though.
Netflix is the Walmart of the movie industry.
So in Los Angeles, the Golden Globes and the Emmys and the Oscars, those are the big events. Like that, people have like big watch parties. It's a huge deal. You know, it's not though. The Super Bowl. Nobody cares about the Super Bowl, and it's ridiculous. So, so that's one of the reasons I moved, because I was like, nobody likes football here. Okay, we're out. We're done.
Well, you can't. You could probably. There's probably more gambling that happens on the Golden Globes, I think, too. Than the Super Bowl. Who bets on the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Well, that's weird. Why when you have all those other categories? Like, come on, Viola Davis, come on.
Viola Davis.
I won like $200 last year off of Viola Davis. Yeah.
She was a long shot.
Well, I hope you guys stay out of trouble, because speaking of trouble, Florida always has that trouble thing, right? About this, you Google Florida man and something will come up. Some weird crime will come up. Well, the latest one has been a Florida man this is real. So this guy has a tattoo of Florida on his head.
And it's on his forehead. It's not like up on his forehead. It's between his eyebrows.
Yeah. So he can see it.
Yeah.
So, but he, apparently he was, drunk and high and called 911 and asked the officers to drive him home. Apparently he thought that was Uber. But I like the fact that when they asked him, where do you live? He said, right here. Instead of giving an address. I don't know. How weird is that? How much state pride do you have that you would put it on your head?
Yeah. I wonder if it was a sports thing or what, or if it was just I love Florida.
I mean, nobody has brought up what if it's a birthmark? Like it's
a pretty accurate birthmark.
Although it looks very similar to Gorbachev.
Yeah.
It's like if it slid off his head.
Gorbachev's birthmark slid down
from his head down to his eyebrows. That's exactly what it looks like. I mean, this is just so strange.
Yeah, there's got to be a story behind that, but I don't want to talk to that person to find it out. It's not because it's a person. I just don't want to talk to anyone from Florida. That's the issue.
Okay.
This guy's hair is receding so much he could move to Texas. I don't know. So why? But why is it Florida, guys? Why is Florida the place that has so many unusual activities happening?
Have you been there, Brian?
I have been to Florida, and I tried to stay in the hotel as much as possible.
So it's interesting. There are hotspots in the country where like Cops is often filmed at, like Tacoma, Washington. I've seen several from Florida. Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, yeah.
I don't know all of them, but I don't know what it is, but there's just When you look at the picture of that guy, you can almost hear him saying "Gator."
Y'all come over to Gator's house. I'm going to show you a good time.
I understand. He's not smiling, but if he smiles, his teeth actually form the Hawaiian Islands.
So I lived in Florida for a few years. I went to school there after the Army. And so everyone thinks of Florida as being old people and Jews. And that's true on the coast, but in the middle, it's just all rednecks. It is all. It's imagine like the readiest rednecks that you've ever had, and then the readiest of them.
We're prepared.
And then you just give them four-wheelers and endless sunshine. That's what it is. So
equals face tattoo.
Face tattoo. He did that with his mom. They got matching tattoos.
Yeah.
It's funny. He also has a map of Michigan on his palm of his hand.
I was born with it.
Yeah, he goes, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "Okay, so here's the actual thing."
Yeah, here's me. I was born in Arizona. Hold on, I almost got it. Flatten that out.
I'm just glad he used his forehead for Florida. All right.
Good for Florida. You know, Mike, I know you were talking about something that you saw that was weird in terms of crimes, I guess. It's not even really a crime, it's a police story, an Amber Alert.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know why this popped up. I was just browsing around as I do, and I saw that in Texas, they issued a Amber Alert, which is a great thing if a child's in distress or in need of help because he's been abducted or whatever. The Amber Alert went out for Chucky, the possessed doll. Texas released an Amber Alert for Chucky. Yeah, there it is right there. That's actual Amber Alert.
28 years old. Huh.
Okay, I guess Chucky was the suspect. The abducted child is Glenn. I don't know these
Glenn.
movies.
Glenn's the son.
Yeah, it's
Glenn's the kid who had
bride.
Okay, so Chucky is abducted.
It's a domestic issue, Mike.
I'll stay out of it. I don't know what's going on. You know, I mean,
I love weight 16 pounds.
I love it. It's Ray's other doll.
Yeah, Ray's other doll. Height 3'1". But his son's 5 years old and only
2'3". Yeah, that's
6 pounds.
That's interesting.
So apparently, from what I understood, it was a test of the Amber Alert system.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't supposed to really go out, and you know,
that's funny. So I wonder if it showed up like I don't know everywhere, but in Arizona, if an Amber Alert goes out, it shows up on all the road signs everywhere and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I assume they have that there too. But but they don't put the child's name up anyway. So they put up the description. So is that what went out? Amber Alert, child, 3 feet tall, or I don't know.
More than likely, I would
race
think
doll.
They might possibly put the child up only for the sake of identification if you see them. But yeah, I don't know with all the I don't know about the creepy picture along with the rest of the stuff.
Man, that's a creepy doll.
Now look at Glenn. His race is white, where the father is other doll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you remember the bride of Chucky, she is
remember
Spain, so that's her ethnic group.
I saw Chucky. I remember seeing that movie. I don't remember the movie very well, but I remember there was no bride of Chucky.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was. It was like
you were in the Navy during a lot of the other sequels.
Oh, there was a sequel to it. That's why.
But then by the time you got back, Bride came out when you stopped caring about Chucky. There's several years where you were like, I don't care about Chucky. Yeah, he got married. He had a kid.
That was that dark phase of my life where I didn't care about Chucky.
Yeah.
It's one of those childhood friends you don't keep up with, Mike, and you got to say, oh, how you been? Oh, I'm still a little doll who likes to murder people. Oh, okay, interesting. And family? Yeah, I got married. I settled down.
Bride of Chucky is somewhere in the leprechaun in outer space of the series, Mike.
Yeah. For instance, that's a good point, Josh. Do you remember when Jason went to space, Mike? Jason 10?
No.
Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movies actually went into space in the future.
Yeah. He went through
It's actually one of the funniest movies, though. I will say this.
That would have been during my time away as well. Pretty sure.
So hopefully
I do remember Pigs in Space.
Yeah.
That's when the Muppet Show really went off the rails.
That was true. that was their jump the shark moment.
Yeah, that was their jump the shark. Really Pigs in Space. Come on, that's not realistic.
Pigs in Space. Don't you mean Russians?
Dun, dun, dun. Josh always throwing controversy here on the show.
That's what I do. I'm the controversial one here.
Josh is the wild card.
Yeah, you never know what I'm going to say.
If we're gonna pull a heist, the four of us sometime, Josh is the wild card.
Yeah. Josh is the one we all go, I'm worried about Josh. And Josh is the one in the corner. And then he's the one who punches out the guard too early. And we're like, what's he doing?
we said no punching.
Chris is stuck on the ceiling somewhere. Guys, I can't hear you. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And then his spray tan starts melting off. So he looks like the guy from Indiana Jones. What's happening to me? With that, we should never pull a heist, is what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking you're right.
Can you imagine if we tried to pull a heist, like as we are right now? We just go to casino, guys. All right, so I'm gonna get in this chip cart. I'm gonna enclose myself in, and they're gonna push me into the money room, and then I'm gonna climb out.
Because I like your heist planning with no research. So we get in the chip cart.
I like though, but we nominate Josh is the one we nominate to get into the cart. Okay, guys, push me.
Brian's the guy, like, faces. He's the guy, and Brian, the man of 7 faces.
Whoa, I'm Mr. Peterson. Guys, it's me.
Hey, hey, look at me. I'm just a customer. Hey,
I want to bet really big over here. Guys, all eyes on me. And then Mike's sneaking in the background of the casino. No one notices him.
He's got a trench coat on. Like, why is that guy with a trench coat and a top hat just sneaking around in the back?
Mike's the comic who gets hired to perform at the casino that weekend. And the rest of us are all spread out. So Mike has his access card. Beep. He gets him into any room because that's what happens. I don't know if you guys know that watching this, but as comics, we get access to every room at a casino.
Actually, it almost is true. So sometimes if you go perform at a casino, you have to show up early and get a security clearance and all of that, and they give you a little card to get through the door so you get back behind stage. That little card works on every door. It seems like you can go anywhere with that.
They just give me free buffet tickets. They don't have to give me a
yeah,
card.
they do that too.
I was gonna say you get free access and you get the buffet, but they don't want to pay you a whole lot.
Yeah.
I'll pay you a buffet food. Cool.
So of all the thousands of buffets at casinos we've all eaten, my go-to is I can tell if it's a good buffet or not by the chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I know this works because I only eat the chocolate chip cookies, so the rest doesn't matter.
To me, it's funny
how I just if we're going to talk about buffets, all right, let's go to the expert here. The rule of buffets is proteins, no carbs. That's the rule of buffets. That's how you win.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right because you fill up on those carbs fast. Well, yeah. I'm gonna have a cinnamon roll and just the cinnamon roll. I'm full now.
Yeah, exactly. But you go in, you get the prime rib, you get the shrimp, you get the snow crab legs, you get another prime rib, and then that's how you win at the buffet, guys.
You can eat so much more meat. They actually have a condition called meat sweats. You don't hear about cinnamon roll sweats.
No, but that is a thing.
Have those too, just normal. That's just my
I didn't. Yeah, I stand corrected. I yield the remainder of my time to the gentleman from West Phoenix.
But there's a strange consistency across the country with mashed potatoes and mac and cheese. What is that?
Oh,
pretty much.
Dude, and what was the thing with the pink mac and cheese? So we had that. We were talking about that last week.
Oh, and you said you were going to get it for us.
No, Chris did, and then he bailed out. But you know what? He still had.
That's why he went to Mexico, because he didn't want to buy us.
Exactly, because I'm sure that it's probably illegal here by now once people started eating it. So Chris is probably going to bring that back. We got time. We can do it next week before.
Yeah, you're right. We have a little bit of time
Valentine's Day, so people can actually prepare it for their loved one on Valentine's Day. What a wonderful treat.
I'm in.
When is the last time you had macaroni and cheese? Well, Brian, your kids are older. They probably don't eat it as much anymore. When my kids were young, it seemed like that we were always eating macaroni and cheese. It was an easy thing to cook. They loved it. And Josh, you have younger kids, so you may have a bit. We don't
do mac and cheese here though.
So I made macaroni and cheese a couple weeks ago for my grandkids, and there was a bunch left over. They didn't eat it, so I I was kind of eating some myself. And this is really good. I just kind of, I finished it. How about you, Brian? When was the last time you had macaroni and cheese?
It's funny because my wife will make mac and cheese as a quick side. Like the kids never had it as like a meal or mealtime when they were little kids growing up. It was always just a side dish.
Did you get the off-brand, the really bad off-brand, or is it?
No, we learned our lesson. We learned our lesson. So
see, that's how I found out that I was poor when I was a kid. Is that someone said that macaroni and cheese was a side dish, and I said, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What? It's the whole meal."
It's always disappointing if you go to a restaurant and you get macaroni and cheese as a side. It's never Kraft Blue, but it's not the good macaroni. Yeah. They think it's better because they've put some sort of bread crumbles toasted on it or whatever. No,
it's never good enough.
Don't forget now. I mean, there's so many children that have grown up thinking like
Rhonda says homemade mac and cheese.
Well, nothing beats homemade mac and cheese.
Well, I guess now
sure. Rhonda just
volunteered to send us some mac and cheese. Thank you, Rhonda.
If I know Rhonda, that mac and cheese is pretty good because it's probably got chocolate sprinkles in it and some other
peanut
butter cups, good stuff. Because I know she likes to bake. That's the first I've heard of her making something else. But but like Josh, your generation, you millennials, you're the ones who are like, we want our mac and cheese as a meal. And now those restaurants popped up where it's like this gourmet mac and cheese, which is, I have nothing against that. Believe
it's not that we were like, I wasn't like, I want it as a meal. And then it was just that I was really poor, very very malnourished as a child. I was very, there's no nutrition in my house is what I'm saying. It's, have you seen these they have like these toast trucks that go around like San Francisco. You can have like there's like this toast restaurant. You go and you just get toast.
No, I've not heard of that.
It's like $10 a slice. That's legitimately.
I'd like to see the menu, please. Well, I'll start out with the wheat, then some sourdough for the main. And
I'd like
cinnamon toast for dessert. Thank you.
I'd like some white bread darkly toasted.
No, that's not even how they do it. They say, listen, they go, hey, we have our challah bread. And then you get your specially rolled butter, and then it's anyways. That's where my generation is now. We're past macaroni and cheese, and we are now just paying $10 for a slice of toast.
Yeah, I think. And like my generation, the Gen Xers, I think we brought chicken tenders to the table. Mm-hmm. So you're welcome.
Yeah. If it's not shaped like a dinosaur, I don't eat it.
Mike's generation brought asparagus to the forefront of the country.
We brought chicken nuggets. And then after the chicken nugget fiasco at McDonald's, your generation forced them into chicken selects. Which do you remember those?
Because
that was the chicken nugget that was made to be less processed or something.
But it was better chicken because Ronald McDonald went there personally and went that one, that one, and that one. And that's why they're called selects. He like right then and there. Which brings us back to Chucky.
Tom says that mac and cheese is good in a food fight. I mean,
yeah,
I guess
I think it's
you're right.
You're in hook.
It's got a bigger spread.
Yeah.
When you throw it, it's.
He does bring up a good point. What would be your number one food in a food fight?
Well, let me tell you this. When I was young, we in lieu of having a rumble, we would occasionally throw food in the cafeteria in grade school. And the lunch lady came over, and she would hate because she had to clean it up, I assume. She warned us one time that, if you throw hot mashed potatoes, they could explode and blind somebody.
Oh,
so when I hear food fight, all I think is, no, don't do it. Somebody's gonna have exploding mashed potatoes.
Please tell me when she told you this, she had a patch over her eye. She was like, I remember the mashed potato fight.
She had her hair in the net, which leads me to believe she had some sort of hair incident earlier.
That's because she wears a helmet in the back just in case you kids start riling up.
Yeah, becomes y'all want to talk about mashed potatoes, huh? Let me tell you a story.
She didn't have a patch. She had a peg leg, oddly enough, but no patch.
It's weird that her parrot told you everything. That's the weirdest part.
I lost my leg in a chili accident.
It was hot chili and it exploded.
Oh, I don't know.
Chili, I think would be the most deadliest thing you could throw, especially if it was hot.
Oh yeah. Well, because it's going to stain your clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, just that itself.
I think I would go with a good mustard, because same reason it will never come out.
I will say this though: if you threw a bunch of French fries at somebody, it's kind of like everyone loses at that point because everybody loves French fries. It'd be like, oh, what a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody'd be upset.
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins in a French fry food fight.
No. Not that this is another horrible segue on my part, but we're talking about winning, and I know, Mike, you found another story about a woman who won from a scratcher, but there's more to that story.
So this woman, where was she at?
Or I'll fill it in. Okay,
Idaho. She gets a scratcher ticket, wins $200,000, which I don't play those, but I see them sitting there, and I always thought they were like 10,000 or 25,000. But anyway, she won 200,000 on a scratcher ticket. Before she goes in to cash it in, the next day she wins 300,000 on another scratcher. So she wins $500,000 from the scratch games in Idaho. That's incredible.
That's crazy. And just so you guys, you can't see it, but basically she's holding up a check for those of you listening on the podcast. But she's holding up the check because she's covering up. She's got a midriff shirt on, and she has a tattoo of Iowa below it. So,
oh man,
Orlean Peterson has $500,000.
Orlean,
she'd be a little happier. She's not quite smiling in the picture here.
Here's a question: would you be more surprised that a woman won 2 scratch-off tickets for $500,000, or that a woman named Orlean won a scratch-off ticket?
I think she's gonna go get her hair done. She's gonna be the new Orlean.
New Orlean.
She doesn't appear to be made up that much. You know, she doesn't look like the kind of girl that gets real gussied up for a special occasion.
Yeah.
You know, I recall when I was in college, I had this night class, and when I got done, I had gone to the store, and scratcher tickets had just become a big thing because I'm old. Anyways, I remember buying one, and I remember winning $20, thinking, gambling. Which don't. But I do recall that became, because you win the one, and then he starts feeding you a little bit, right? Because then you're like, okay,
oh, yeah.
and the next week after class, you're like, all right, now you're superstitious, and you're like, okay, Coke, Snickers, lottery ticket. Where's my $20? Nope. Now
I like the fact that I like the fact that you just considered it as there's a vice, gambling. I think I'll dip my toes in there for a little bit.
Exactly. Well,
Coca-Cola? Snickers, gambling
for me.
I have gluttony and gambling knocked out in one Quickie Mart visit.
Yeah. Then suddenly you're just like, I'm gaining weight and I'm losing money. How is this happening?
And then Brian comes up and he's like, hey, can I get more scratchy lotteries? And they're like, haven't you had enough? And he's like, can I get more scratchy lotteries? Like, sorry, sir. Sorry, I didn't know you're a new customer.
Because he's a man of 7 faces.
Well, needless to say, I don't play the scratchers anymore.
Oh my gosh! Well, I'm glad you've kicked the gambling monkey on your back.
Yeah, it's always these weird, like, gentlemanly bets that happen now. Like Super Bowl will probably be one. My wife and I will probably. Somebody has to always take the other team. For some reason, that's always me. I don't know.
Have you ever, like, so I'm not a scratchy lottery person, but have you ever gotten them for Christmas or some random, holiday?
I had at one point, this was years ago. My wife and I still lived in San Diego. This was like 30 years ago. And she had a couple uncles that came, and they brought with them. I don't remember. Back then the scratches were $1, and as I recall, they brought like 100. But they'd been scratched off. They scratched them all off, but they gave them to us because they go, we just scratched these off really fast and went through them. I don't know if there's any winners in there or not. You can go look through them. So we're like, oh, we were pretty young and needing money. So we're going through all these scratches. That's the only other time, other than the fact one time I came into my office and my trash can had been knocked over and there was a lottery ticket laying there and out of my trash. And it wasn't scratched. I scratched it, $20,000 winner. And I was so excited. And then this guy in an adjacent office was snickering because when I looked on the back to redeem this, talk to the tooth fairy or whatever. It was a joke one.
I was like really excited for a second. Like I was probably more excited than you were at the time. I was like, Mike, is that where you got your millions of dollars?
Did you talk to the tooth fairy?
No, I could not get a hold of her. I tried several times, but it's hard to find the number. It's like calling Google. There's just no number.
I'll tell you what. Speaking about a money windfall, my wife, in working with the tooth fairy, boy, too generous sometimes. Those two working together. Like really? I remember my daughter got a $5 bill one time for a tooth, and I'm like, "You're going to bankrupt us," because that was like the first tooth. I'm like.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, okay, let's go back. Let's pull it back. Maybe. Can we agree on nickel? No? 25 cents? No. Okay. I don't know. Come on.
Well, where's my daughter, my rent-to-own daughter, she
for $5 a tooth, I'll knock out my own teeth.
Yeah, really.
my soon-to-be stepkid, last Christmas, not this Christmas, 2 Christmases ago, she had a loose tooth. And so at the Christmas party, she went around to everyone and she said, "How much money will you give me if I pull this tooth out?" And so I think at the end of the day, she had like $40-something of everyone that promised her a few dollars to pull the tooth out. And I was like, that's the smartest kid I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah.
Quite the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
This kid's going
She
far.
crushed it. And then she did. She pulled the tooth out, made a bunch of money. Anyway, so that's what I do with her now. I just take her out to public and I say, "How much money will you give me if I pull this child?"
Wait, back up. Wait, take her to public?
To public? Who? Public? Who's public? To public we will go. Grab your coat and shorts. Let's go. I don't know. I recall.
It's very warm.
Part of the country you live in. It is. Like here in Arizona, you go to the movies. Remember when the movies were a thing? But you'd go, and then like the air conditioning in some of these places are set to like 30, and then you go in and you're all wearing your summer stuff, and then it's like I've just learned you got to keep a jacket in the car. My wife's constantly bringing a jacket into the movie theater. I'm like, gosh, enjoy someone else's air conditioning. 1,000 degrees.
What I do if I go back when movies were a thing, I would go, and if I was cold, I would just find a stranger and cuddle with them.
Okay,
that works.
That works. That did
parts of the country.
Nearly as far as I thought it would. That was a swing and a miss, and I apologize for that, folks.
I think it's. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact of you just going in and finding a stranger and cuddling up next to him.
Leslie, my fiance, says she ripped it out while holding her list.
You haven't been to movies in a long time. And when I do go, I'd like to sit, I try to find a spot where we're not sitting right next to strangers. And oftentimes we'll do that. And then some other stranger will sit like just right in front, a tall person with a top hat will sit right in front of, not with the top hat, but usually somebody with that's kind of obstructing the view. Not anymore. Theaters are built differently now, so you can't really do that. But
and you're always like Mr. Lincoln, this is not the theater for you, sir.
Aren't you supposed to be in a booth?
Abraham Lincoln Theater?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Wouldn't you prefer a booth or a balcony?
Oh, Rhonda says that she'll send us the recipe.
Someday we'll have these problems again.
So, Rhonda, when somebody this is Rhonda Corey who had commented on Facebook. Rhonda, when somebody asks you, "Hey, send us some," they don't want the recipe.
Yeah.
No, we don't want the recipe. We want the food. I can look up amazing recipes.
Her
Now,
recipe's gonna be
that's
like,
interesting.
okay, go get the blue box from the store, and then you put and then you just make it. That's my impression of Rhonda Corey. My name is Rhonda Corey, and I'm here to change the world.
This recipe is a wonderful recipe that will change the course of history.
That's
Now,
not
I will
what
tell you that-
macaroni can do for you.
We'll tell you that Rhonda, the host of the Talk is Cheap show that I am currently, I've been on more shows than that have actually been produced. But anyway, Rhonda made cookies for somebody, not me. I don't know why that's a thing. But anyway, she made cookies for somebody and mailed it during Christmas, and it took a month to get there because of the post office. And I think the person still ate them. So is that right or wrong? I think, if it's on a truck frozen, I think you're fine. I think you can eat them.
Well, I don't know, Mike. Did you ever? I used to get care packages when I was overseas, and sometimes and a friend of mine would make baked goods, and it was a hit or miss. Sometimes the baked goods were very moldy, and sometimes they weren't, and sometimes you just ate around it. So it's
my wife would always send me a care package because in the military. But they would often include like underwear and things, because on the ship we would always lose underwear because we'd put it in the laundry, but it'd be in with everybody else's. So you'd put your laundry in the big net bag, so theoretically it wouldn't get mixed up. But oftentimes they'd come undone or whatever. So it was just like you'd have to go through random laundry to find your stuff. So undergarments were often the things that were missed because it wasn't labeled. So my wife would send me underwear and stuff that had my name on it, but she was very creative. So she wouldn't just like have Mike James written in the waistband of it. She'd have like the kids finger paint on it and all kinds. So they were always this crazy, colorful things all over my t-shirts and underwear.
That's phenomenal. Oh man, that's like such a good memory.
Nobody else wanted to take them. My kids' handprints on their underwear.
They're like walking around in their boxers. You're like, hey, you sir.
She had one.
What did the house
t-shirt,
look like when they were putting everything together?
I don't know. I remember one t-shirt though I had, and it had a big butterfly on the front of it, but it was my son. It was his butt cheeks that were painted and placed on there, and she made a butterfly out of it.
These are hilarious.
That's a good father. Yeah, you're a good father, Mike, because you knew that was your son's butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Yep. That's set.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, she could have been cheating with me and used somebody else's son's butt cheeks, but I'm pretty sure it was my son.
Based on the spank. Yeah. That's awesome.
You look at him like, these aren't my son's butt cheeks.
I'd know those anywhere.
I don't know. Hell.
Oh dear. Oh, speaking of deer and lotteries, another guy in let's see here, in North Carolina, he hit 2 deer with his brand new car at the same time, 2 of them, and then he goes home and he wins $2 million in the lottery.
He hits 2 deer at the same time, so they're together.
They're together. I assume they're a couple, and
wow.
I assume that they're the deer Batman's parents. Like just watch. Never mind. All right.
It wasn't a back alley; it was a back road.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I mean, like what are the what are the odds? You hit 2 deer, like that's $1 million a deer. I would do it.
So you're saying he hit 2 deer?
He'd go out and seek out deer to hit, thinking you're getting $1 million each.
Well, can you imagine what he said the next day when someone's like, "Hey, what'd you do yesterday?" Well, I got a couple bucks.
Oh, man.
I'm a dad now.
And next week, as a regular part of the show, we're going to feature puns by Josh.
Oh, what
All right. We have a few minutes remaining in the show. I'd be remiss if we don't. Okay, so
See,
Tom,
thank you, Tom.
Tom Hoy loved it. there you go.
Always.
Tom, you're just encouraging him.
Yeah.
That's. I will say, here's.
Don't
Go ahead, Brian.
go ahead.
Here's a
Sorry,
legit
Brian.
way to get $2 though. No. I got one of those flyers in the mail from a car dealership that says you may have won, a car. So
Sure.
my wife and I always like, ooh, let's see. So we always do it. And of course, we always get whatever we won a prize. And so I had nothing to do the other day. So I'm like, I'm gonna go down there and we'll see what I won. So I go down there, and then they got the whole. It's a computer screen with a wheel, basically a slot machine on there. And, it's the whole, what kind of car are you looking for? And I told him, I'm not looking for a car. I'm just here to, because your thing lured me here. And I said, I know how these things work. And he was laughing. We had a good time. Anyway, so I spent the thing and I won $2.
Wow.
Cash.
Whoa.
Ooh. You don't
I
see
was waiting
that
for a
often
big
anymore.
check. I was the big check and I wanted the big picture thing. That didn't happen. So I was a little disappointed. But $2 cash. Not only that, he was like talking to me. He's like, all right, man, thanks for coming in. I said, whoa. What about my $2? He goes, oh, that's right. He goes, let me go talk to my manager, of which the manager literally pulls out his wallet, gives it to him. They weren't even crisp. They weren't even crisp.
Oh, man. They were used dollars.
They're sweaty.
Yeah.
There were sweaty used dollars.
I just love the fact. I just love the vision of you having one of those giant checks for $2.
Right. And a big wheel.
Yeah, and being in their promos after that.
Yeah. And then there's some girl.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
It's Orlean. Orlean is holding up the check for you.
Orlean. Yes, this is exactly what you want to see. Is Orlean standing next to you, except it says $2 on it. So I don't know. So I wanted to know, but this is a new segment. This is a segment of mine. You guys may like it, you may not. I don't know, but it's something I want to do called "What You Watching," because I'm curious to know. We all have different backgrounds and interests, and I'm just curious. Josh, do you have anything in particular, Netflix or a movie or something else you've been watching? I'm
watching WandaVision on Disney Plus, and I have to say that it's. I was kind of confused at the very first 1.5, and then now I'm fully invested in the what they're doing. So I don't want to. Yeah. I can't like spoil anything, but it's very interesting what they're doing, and I thought that was pretty.
I'm not all caught up on it. You have to. I think Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. I think you have to be kind of a Marvel fan to really grasp it all. Even though the first episode or so just feels like, oh, this is an homage to retro television stuff. Mm-hmm. Like it's like a I Love Lucy filmed. The first episode is. So anyway, yeah, I won't give too much away, but I really like that too. I've been watching Longmire. Longmire. It's eternally long, and I'm getting tired of it, and I wish it would end, but I feel like I have to follow it through. It's a sheriff in Wyoming and his deputies, and basically it's a show about them not being able to get into certain places because they don't have a search warrant, whereas other times they can just walk right in and do whatever they want, even without a search warrant. Mm-hmm. It's very realistic that way.
Is Longmire still on, or was it canceled?
I don't know actually. I'm on like season 4 of it.
Okay.
I think it has. I don't know how much more there is to go. I hope it's not still on. I'm hoping there's an end.
Well, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I got things to do.
They tried to cancel it, but then the Longmire people were like, "Well, do you have a warrant?"
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the WandaVision when they do the Longmire episode. That'll be a good crossover, I think, for everybody. They'll enjoy that.
What about you, Brian?
Crystal says she's binge watching 6 seasons of Lost.
Oh, there you go. That's probably better to watch it that way. Because I watched it when it was on live.
I remember this because you were watching it, and you kept complaining. You loved it, but you were complaining about how it didn't make sense, and they just kept fragmenting the storyline, and I thought, I'm not going to watch that. I just can't watch another Heroes.
I love Lost, but here was the problem: is that so sometimes during the week they would replay an episode for people that didn't catch it, and so a lot of times my wife would catch that one and go, I'm so confused. Didn't that happen? No. That was like last week's. They're playing again to get you caught up for whatever. And she's like, I don't know what's happening. So that's why we had to finally just get on a schedule to like watch it pre-DV.
Yeah,
what are you watching now?
Yeah, what are you? Come on, Brian.
So,
what do you watch?
I like documentaries a lot. I don't have a show that I'm normally watching right now. I mean, I'm watching WandaVision, which I am enjoying. Watch HBO's documentary series. So I watched the Tiger Woods 2-part series.
Yeah.
You know, my wife's a professional golfer, and when Tiger first hit, she was all about Tiger. And then after his shenanigans, she can't stand him. So it was kind of interesting to see the course of this guy's life and what was thrown at him, and from his parents to the career and everything else.
By shenanigans, are you referring to the time he wore unapproved cleats on the course?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
When he wore those unapproved cleats,
Mm-hmm.
and then at Phoenix Open, he moved that rock.
Yeah,
that's right.
You just can't be doing that.
He started sliding into the other golfers and with the cleats on, and it's dangerous. You can't do that.
Well, when you decide I'm better than everybody else and I can skate to the next hole, that's just weird.
And didn't he once throw his bat into the crowd and hurt somebody?
He did.
So that's not acceptable.
They're like, come on, Tiger. And he's like, it's not great. I don't know. Maybe I watched the wrong documentary about the wrong Tiger. I don't recall.
Could be.
I did watch the one last night, Fake Famous, where they took 3 people.
I started watching that.
Instagram influencers and stuff. Pretty fascinating. Yeah, I think that's worth a look. At kind of, it's right on. Fake Famous is exactly it. It's
how do I become fake famous? Is there a secret?
If you got some money, you can get some followers. It's pretty quick.
Oh, okay. Do you remember?
You have to spend more money though to get the likes and the comments. It's
there's a girl a couple years ago who had like 2 million followers, and so she released a line of clothing or something, and she sold 6 shirts, and it became this whole thing where they're like, oh, they're all. She has like 2 million fake followers.
They're really, really nice shirts though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's what I'm wearing right now. I mean, this is
of them. Yeah. Hey, before we wrap up for the morning, all of you guys that have hung in and have watched us live, thank you for watching. And if you're catching us on the podcast, thank you for listening there too. Make sure you head to Spotify, iTunes, all the good ones there. You can wherever you watch and listen. Actually, wherever you listen, but you can catch this again. Tell your friends about us every Thursday morning here, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time here in Arizona. I'm going to put up Chris's contact information there. Chris Wineland, you can follow him at Chris Wineland Comedy on his Instagram and make him fake famous. Do that. Josh, you are at joshnovey.ninja. You could check out Josh and all his stuff there. Mike James, MikeJamesComedy.com. You can see his stuff there. And myself, Brian how do you pronounce that? Kohatsu.com. You can check me out there. Before we sign off here, we want to let you guys know of a few dates coming up. Mike, do you happen to have that info in front of you?
I do.
We have a few shows here.
So Valentine's Day, we have an evening laugh. That's February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's in Litchfield Park. For the details on these, by the way, just check out our website, themorninglaugh.com. It'll have more of the information. We also have another show, An Evening Laugh, on March 3rd in Surprise. So again, check the website for more details on those. If you happen to be in Arizona, those shows will be available to you. We have more coming up we've been working on, and hopefully we'll be wherever you are in the near future, so we can meet you in person.
Also, February 21st, all of us will be at Stir Crazy Comedy Club in Glendale, Arizona. My hometown. I was born and raised.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to add that. February 21st.
February 21st, 7 o'clock. And these, unfortunately, for some of you, all these dates are in Arizona. But I'll tell you, it's nice here. Hop on a plane, mask up.
It has been obscenely nice. It is. Yesterday was in the high 70s. all through this weekend is going to be in the 70s, sunny, no rain. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's been actually I don't know about you guys, but I did sleep with the windows open last night. Yeah, it's February. So I'm just
anyway.
saying.
So on that note, I actually I broke into Brian's house last night because he left the window open and hit in a chip carton.
And I'm sure my dumb dog barked at you for an hour. So, all right, guys. Anything else you need to add before the day is over?
I know it looks like I'm drinking coffee, but this is water.
People, he's the world's greatest actor.
What does that say? It says, Dad, no matter what life throws at you, at least you don't have ugly children. Oh, okay.
My daughter gave it to me.
Well, isn't she conceited?
Well, she's not ugly.
And on that note, hey guys, we'll see you guys all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning.
Bye, guys.